Okay, there we are. Ashay. So we are live. Welcome to another episode of Educeumm. My name is China Nellen. I am your host, and I have special guests with me here today, Tiffany Hudson. I guess I should wait a second to let it populate just a little bit. I always start right on time, but that's okay because it's going to be recorded and I edit and all of that. So I definitely want to remind everybody what Educeumm is because we haven't been on for a minute. So Educeumm is the root word of educate, which means to bring out, right? So the idea is that through conversation and discussion, we can bring out that which is inside of us, right? From our own perspective and things of that nature, we can share and educate each other, from what we learn and what we personally know. So I'm super excited, super excited to bring to you today Tiffany Hudson. So I always start out, of course, explaining like, how do you know this person and why did you bring them on and do some, what are they sharing? So, interestingly, I met Tiffany because she's part of my family, right? She married my uncle. So, I feel like I came home from college. I don't know. I came from somewhere, and she was just there, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" But then all of a sudden, I heard that my uncle he was in Paris, and he was out of the country, and ain't never been nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, he out the country. I was like, "Okay, excuse me." And then we turned around and he getting married. And I was in school. I remember I was in school because all I had to do was just travel down a little bit to come to the wedding. And then I went right back because I was a CD at the time. But I was a community director at school, so I could go back to work. That is how I know Tiffany. But outside of that, our family is just very proud of Tiffany and her accomplishment. I love to hear my grandma quick plug, Soulful Sundays, if you ever want to hear Lady Georgia sing. But I love to hear my grandma brag about Tiffany. Oh, well, she's a fashion designer and she does this and she travels and she's doing swatches. And it's always awesome to see us excel. You know what I'm saying? I don't know a lot about Tiffany's journey, but from like what I've seen, I know that she was working in one space and she didn't feel appreciated in that space. So she moved. A lot of times I feel like we feel like it's hard for us to get that position. So we stay right there and stay. And we don't go to where we're valued. But she moved to where she was valued and has like excelled, right? But I'm gonna let her talk more about that on her own. But we're actually here to talk about a new line that she was the head of and creator of their Black History line. They did a Black History collection, right, at JCPenny. And Tiffany was the lead designer for it. So I'm going to stop talking now because I always talk a whole bunch at the beginning, but I want you guys to know who I'm introducing you to. And I'm going to let Tiffany introduce herself, just tell you a little bit about who she is and how she became a designer and a little bit about the line.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Tiffany Hudson. I've been designing primarily men's clothes for the last 20 years. I'm from the south side of Chicago, and I ended up moving on to Little Rock, Arkansas, where I met China's uncle, and we got married. I worked for Dillard's while I was there for a few years, doing menswear, and now I'm currently with JCPenny. I've been here for quite some time. But the one thing that my primary focus with JCPenney is I'm actually the head designer for Shaquille O'Neal. I design a line for Shaq and another menswear brand called Stylist, which is just like your everyday cool, comfortable pieces. What China hit on was our new collection. It's called Hope and Wonder. I'm not the lead designer. It's a BIPOC group of us, creatives that have come together to like kind of launch this brand. My focus is just to give input where I can give input, and primarily to just be the person that speaks out for the men's design in the collection.
Fire. Thank you for correcting that. So, lead designer for Shaquille O'Neal. I'll take that. Actually, thank you. All right. As well as a casual, but like more urban is what I'm hearing. Like cool, not urban or
it's just like it's t-shirts but elevated.
dope.
Like your every like we're in this pandemic, and it's like the perfect brand for comfort. If you think of comfort, you shop this brand. It's called Stylist. And it's just t-shirts and and just really comfortable pants and stuff like
Love
that.
it.
It's for men's wear. It's for men.
Yes, love it. As a matter of fact, let me I don't think this is the link to that, but I was given a link earlier today to post for you all to I think it's a clickable link for you can go and look if you're in the chat. Yes.
Mhm.
And that link is to the collection.
It just gives you a little, it shows some imagery and photos of some of the items in the collection. It gives you a little blurb about the nonprofit organization that will get 100% net profits from the
Oh, wow.
sales of this collection. The name of the name of the nonprofit is Black Girl Smile, and what
Mm,
they do, it's a nonprofit created by Black women that devotes resources and education to empower the mental well-being of Black women and girls.
love it.
Um, the 2022 theme for Black History Month was Black mental health and wellness. So it just kind of, Black Girl Smiles is a perfect organization to benefit from ourselves.
Love it. I have some images here of some of the designs, and I wanted to go ahead and share that if that's okay with you. I don't know what's going on. There we go.
The cool thing about this collection is that it's all modeled by us and our families. So my little son is in this. Jordan, you'll see Jordan. He's wearing the red, black. Oh gosh, young, gifted, in black hoodie sweatshirt. He's the larger. He's the big boy that you see in it
Oh,
when she shares it.
yes. I don't know what is going on with my connection. Here we go. This. So I assume these are the ladies that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm,
these are
that.
the ladies. Go ahead, China. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, please. Mm-hmm.
So this is a team. Basically, it's a team that consisted of women designers, myself as a men's designer, a kids design director, and then the Val Harris, the SVP of design. The statement that you see in quotes, Black History is more than a month, is who we are every day, is really what really drove our collection.
Mm,
And so that's one thing that we wanted to keep in mind with this collection. And then I love the for the culture by the culture, because that's exactly what it is. It's for the culture and it's by us.
I say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then this is just one of the photo shoots. We did have some additional models in there, but they're all friends and families. Actually, the lady at the end with the white T-shirt on, that she was the photographer's wife. So
Oh,
this was even shot by a Black photographer. I
love it.
apologize, I don't recall his name, but
Love it. What is on her shirt? I can't really see. Is it two black women?
it's a Black guy and a Black woman. Basically, what we had a historically Black college design contest. So we had a T-shirt design contest. So a young lady from FAMU actually won the contest, and this is her design. And what they did is they purchased the merchandise and then they shipped it in stores. So it's selling in stores by her hometown
Oh wow.
in Florida. So yeah, so that was the
That's
really cool
really
thing about
cool. Yeah, that's
yeah.
very cool. I love that. That's super cool. So is it just that design or so one of the shirts was designed by a student?
That's the only one that was designed by a student, but hopefully, we're gonna launch another contest soon. So hopefully we'll be able to have more designs this time.
Yeah, I love it. That's really cool. And so can you tell me a little bit about like some of the thing, but you said you were more in with the men's clothing, right? Arthur?
I worked on the entire collection that
Awesome.
you
So
see
yeah,
with
could you tell
everyone.
us a little bit more about like so I see some of the logoing, sis you good. I love that, right? Where we can check
Mhm.
in on each other. Can you tell me like the thought process behind some of the like terms, and because I love how the language and it definitely resonates with me personally when I hear it. So could you talk to me a little bit about the designs on the shirts?
So what you're seeing now is just, this is all part of our mind, body, and soul. So we had different buckets for the collection.
Mhm.
We had Black excellence, or Black history slash pride. We had Black girl magic, and in this kind of brilliant and bold collection. And then we had mind, body, and soul. And so what you're seeing on the screen right now is part of that mind, body, and soul collection. So we just wanted to just have some good statements that really resonated with us as a culture, like sis you good,
Mhm.
um, sis self-care, loving the skin I'm in, the
Mhm.
mind, body, and spirit t-shirt that the young lady has on is actually an ally t-shirt. So we wanted to actually have something in there that anybody could wear.
Yes.
And this was that it's an ally shirt, so it will, one of our allies can purchase it and it will benefit Black Girl Smile.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah. And I'm actually wearing the Inhale the Future, Exhale the Past, which is the one that I shot in the photography there too.
I love it. And I was also going to say that like the quotes and kind of the themes you all have with each of the shirts goes with your overall theme of it being all year round, because it's definitely not a shirt that I feel like I have to wear just in February. I could definitely see wearing this shirt year round. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that too. I could see that. I see
Yeah.
what else.
That's just part of our Black History and Pride collection. So this is, the meat of the collection. That is our photographer and his kids.
I love it. And I love it's like a family. I love it when we can all
Yeah.
kind of be matching, but not exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? Together. That's very cute. I love it. So it's like a family fit.
And that's my little one right there, the Young Gifted in Black hoodies. I mean, those are hot commodity. We sold out of those online. So if you find them in the store, grab them right away because they're going to be gone.
Love it.
And
Awesome.
what's today's date? Today is February 9th, and we
Yeah.
are already.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Almost immediately sold out. That's cool. So that means that y'all definitely tapped into what kind of what was resonating with everybody, you know what I'm saying, during this time. Could you talk to us a little bit about like how this even got started? Like why did we create this, or why did you create this collection?
So we always, as a company, we always have kind of these T-shirt collections that come out, but we weren't doing much for Black History Month. And what was happening is our buyers were buying from the market, which that means is they're buying from somebody else. It's not created by us, meaning Black people. And so we just really wanted to, basically, the pandemic happened. And in the midst of the pandemic, you guys know all of the craziness that was happening, the George Floyd and just all of the craziness.
Yes.
And so the one thing that we decided to do was pull together. Our SVP was like, let's create this creative coalition. And I felt that it was a great learning experience. In my home, Black history wasn't something that was like frequently talked. Like I learned to lift every voice and sing, and you know about Malcolm X and Mount and Martin and other key leaders, but not really, in my opinion, the meat. And so I felt like this was the perfect opportunity for me to engage in a cause and learn more about Black history, or just this is the best way for me to be a part and make a change. And I must say that this has been the most fulfilling year of my career. And it's interesting because we've had to work from home, and I'm designing great brands, but I have a voice with Hope and Wonder. And so that's the one thing that's been so great. Like this has afforded me an opportunity to meet other Black designers. Like I've been working for this company for like 17 years. And the way that we worked in the building is men's was in one building and women's was on a different floor and kids was on a different floor. This afforded me the opportunity to work with other Black designers, which has been such an amazing experience. And I got to meet them and know them. And we just got off of a call at 6:00. So
love it. Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about that kind of your experience as a Black designer in the professional arena, you know what I'm saying, working for like big companies and things of that nature, what that looks like? Because you're saying you are at meeting, but I hear two things. I hear like there are definitely other Black designers, but it kind of feels like y'all are isolated, you know what I'm saying, usually during the year, but COVID allowed you. So could you talk to us kind of about, do you see a lot of people like you? What has it been like kind of navigating that? And you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like making your space, kind of creating legacy, you know what I'm saying? How, like creating your stakeholder in that place and things of that nature. Actually, one of the things that I'm sure you know who it is because I don't want to mess up his name, but the black fashion designer that just passed.
Virgil,
Yes,
yeah.
right. And so the crazy thing is, as soon as I saw where he had passed, I immediately knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? But he's just not someone who comes to my mind all the time. And then, there's this outpouring of love, but then there was all these people who were angry because it's like you definitely saw how people kind of like pushed him to the side, and you know what I'm saying, and kind of used him when they wanted to, so just like as a black designer, and then I think about like Dapper Dan and and people like that kind of black designers, you know what I'm saying, are that were in the big arena that were overlooked. So just talk to us about the process, you know what I'm saying, as a professional from your perspective, you know what I'm saying, and what has that been like?
It hasn't been easy.
I say.
I always come to the workplace and I'm always going to authentically be myself. I am going to be professional. I am not a very loud black woman or anything like that. I get stuff done. I have my taste level, but I'm also stereotypically black, meaning I say things the way I say things, and expression. I've had times where I've had a manager tell me that I needed to act more like this one of my white peers, and I'm just like, no, I'm going to be very matter of fact, but I'm gonna be professional about it. But I'm not. I felt like that was an unfair thing. But I would say, like, in regards to like career growth and pathing, I am more quiet. But as I'm getting older, I'm getting more loud.
Love it.
I was blessed to have a wonderful VP at one point, and I wasn't speaking up for myself. The one thing that I always tell, especially my bonus daughter, like, she's a few years out of college, and and she's like negotiating her salaries and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Just know your worth. Ask for it. Worst case scenario, they tell you no. But why
Mm,
not ask for that extra $5,000?
mm,
And so I had a VP who happened to be a white male, heterosexual white male. I'm just gonna say it like that because I've had experiences with white men that I mean, excuse me, he was homosexual.
mm,
I had experiences with white males that were heterosexual, and those haven't been great experiences.
mm,
I had assistants that were white males; those haven't been great experiences.
mm.
But this white man um, took me under his wing, and I owe a lot of my professional growth to him. You know, because he advocated for me. I've never had anybody advocate for me. I didn't even advocate for myself. I didn't know what that
Mm.
was and what
Yes.
that was like. But once he did that and once he left, and then I no longer had anybody speaking for me, that's when I started to speak up. And that's when
Mm,
it really opened my eyes to say, okay, I can't blame anybody else but myself. Like
mm,
I have to he was talking for me. He was negotiating salaries. He was negotiating positions for me,
mm,
and he left and I felt a certain way. I was down. I felt defeated and stuff. And I started to really look at it and I was like, that's because you're not advocating for yourself. So
mm,
the one thing in any career, you just have to advocate and speak up for yourself and you have to know your worth. You have to know your worth. Don't sell yourself short. Don't be like, oh, they just gave me an offer. The salary's more than what I thought. But you know what? You still need to negotiate that.
yes.
Get every penny out of it. But in regards to being a black woman, I mean, like we literally just got a black female design director
Mm.
at JCPenny.
Can you
And
tell me what that means? Because I don't understand exactly what that means.
so there's different levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like in any job, you start out as an assistant and then you move up the ladder, throughout the
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
And a design director is somebody that just really owns a category.
Okay.
In a big way. They're on it. They're responsible for the whole brand, and then they're
Gotcha.
responsible for managing the team that is executing the brand. They're responsible for deciding the design vision. So like they'll they'll decide what the color palette is, and they'll
Yes.
decide what the theme is, and they'll decide
Yes.
what the fabrics are.
Yes.
Like that is their main job.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. So,
But
mm-hmm.
we didn't have we you know I didn't have we had a black male since I've been
Mm-hmm.
there, but I didn't report it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we realized that we weren't growing our black talent like we should. So
Mm.
the one thing that I did, like I said, this has been the most fruitful year. Like I had the opportunity to represent my company in the McKinsey. I forget what it's called. Oh gosh, here I am on the spot. It was called the Black Executive Leadership cohort, and I was in that. Like, it was a 4 month, or 3 or 4 month. It went over from August until December. Program where I was in meetings with executives from other companies around the world.
Oh, wow.
So it was other people like me, and
Yeah,
I was just learning from them leadership skills. And
I love it.
I felt so privileged to be at my level and learning from people that report into the CEO.
Love it.
But my job put me through that training just to develop me, it was
Yes.
fantastic. But that was with McKinsey and Company. I mean, it was great training. If you ever have the opportunity to do training through them, I mean, it's great.
Yes. Could you talk a little bit about that, like the importance of like mentorship and things of that nature? I think sometimes, like, I don't know if we just used to like rap music or like our type of music, like get it out the, you know what I'm saying? Like we just you just figured out, just get it out the ground. Like, but like no, like you need guidance at some
Mhm.
point. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you need a team. You can't do everything by yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of mentorship? I know you definitely already mentioned it with your VP. Like he kind of like literally took you under his wing and showed you the ropes. Are there any more important?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the one thing that I like, I know at one point in my career, I felt like I was just down. It was hard. Um, I was having difficulty communicating with my bosses and my peers and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I need counseling. Like, I need work counseling. And I was like, duh, that's a mentor.
Mm,
And so
mm,
then I sought out a mentor.
mm.
I was knocking on, and fortunately for me, it was another black mature woman, which it was wonderful. Like, had an issue, I was sitting on her couch. Not on her couch, but it felt like I was sitting on her couch, and I
Yes.
treated it as my therapy.
Yes.
But I've had the opportunity to actually mentor people as well,
Hmm.
which has been great. Just young talent, just the one thing that I always just, like I had mentioned before, is just don't sell yourself short. Believe in yourself. You know, um, the one thing that I kind of lead, and it's so funny, when I did the McKinsey program, they asked us to fill out a survey and tell them something about ourselves. And I'm not a like cookie cutter answer type of person. And so I was like, you know what? What do I do? I am the CEO of my life. I'm the CEO of this house. Like, not the whole house, but like, I'm the CEO in my business,
Yes.
and being the wife to my husband, the mother to my kids, you know.
Mm.
And with that approach, I feel like I can do anything. And I let my mentor, the kids that I mentor, the young people that I mentor, know that, like, you have to like have that type of mentality. You have to be confident, but then you have to execute too.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Talk to us a little bit about execution. You can't leave it right there. You can't say then you have to execute. Talk to us about execution a little bit.
I mean, you have to be. You can't. So I think sometimes we have a tendency to just speak a lot,
Mm.
but we don't have any follow through,
Mm.
and we don't have anything to show from it. So
Mm.
it's like, okay, yeah, I'm getting these extra $5, but what are you doing to get like, what are you doing? Are you crossing your T's, dotting your I's? Are you answering your emails? Are you
Mm.
asking questions? Are you figuring things out for yourself? So, like, for instance, I have a young lady, and we were talking, and she was just like, and I told him that I didn't know how to do this. And I'm like, you know what? Be resourceful. These kids have a tendency to make a lot of excuses. Be resourceful. You know where you can be resourceful is where you're always on your computers, you're always on your phone. Google
Yes.
is your best friend. Trust me. Make it till you make it. But but the best way to do that is to be like, fake it till you make it. Yes, I joke and say that, but really the
Mhm.
way that you're faking it is by you're going on the internet and you're Googling it and you're finding out,
Yes. Yes.
you know,
Research. Yes.
research.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%. I definitely want to get to your brand, but before we get there, I have one more thing I definitely want you to touch on because I think it's important. One of my favorite things about you. Definitely as some person, from somebody looking out, and definitely, if I haven't said it, I definitely look up to you. I see you as somebody who is successful, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is a career woman, a go-getter, you know what I'm saying? And I love that, right? One of my favorite things about you, and I'm right behind you, I'm coming, right? Is that you find time for self. You go on vacation, you know what I'm saying? You take girls trips, you make sure that you have your dance time, you know what I'm saying? That is so important. All the time, you know, when we see these stereotypes about Black women, it's like we work super hard and we do all of this, but we don't take time for self. I see Tiffany work very hard, be very focused, take care of everything, and find time for self.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about that? How is that possible?
So I am very fortunate to be married to your uncle.
Ashay.
Yes. A lot of men probably wouldn't be open to their wives doing what he allows me to do. But it's just because I went into this marriage with the CEO mentality where he kind of understood, Tiffany's going to be Tiffany. She's going to work hard and she's going to treat me well, and I'll make sure my home is taken care of. And then that's how I can but I do make sure myself is taken care of first, because I know if I'm not well, and this is something that the part about self, like I can joke and say about the CEO thing, but the part about self is something that I've really been honing in on, like within this last year and a half, is yes, I do. I go work out. You know, I'll work out. I do dance classes. I go out to happy hours. I do
Shay.
things that do make me happy. I shop.
Yes.
I do too much. But and then I take care of my home, so.
Yes, right. And when I'm saying these vacations, no, I love it because
Yeah, the
like
vacations,
do
yeah.
we do family vacation and then we do girls trip? Like that's important to me, right? Every
Mhm,
time we vacation,
mhm,
it's not everybody. No, and vice versa, right? Jack gets to take his
mhm.
man trips too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I
It
love
doesn't go
that
anywhere.
it. You know what I'm saying? That you get your time and like and that it's planned. You know what I'm saying? You plan that time. It's not like just, oh, I'm gonna go this week. You plan all that out, and I think that that's really important, and it shows a certain level of success outside of the business
Yeah.
realm. You know what I'm saying? I do have a question. So, do you have a schedule or something to help
No.
you? No, just yeah.
Mhm.
All right, all right.
I think that he would appreciate if I had something very spur of the moment around here.
No. I love it.
I'm trying to dial it back.
No, I have no schedule at all. I'm trying to get me one together. I'm like, maybe it'll help me organize my time more if I have a schedule. But last but not least, I definitely wanted to get into your new company. I'm not going to say the name because I said it wrong. So I'm going to let you say it and then we're going to talk about it.
So when I went to college, I don't know if you know this, when I went to college, I was an interior design major.
Hmm.
And then I was like, okay, like our final project was building a chair and so it can be like a miniature chair or it can be a full like chair,
Hmm.
but it had to be based on a picture that they gave me. So they gave me a picture of a rubber ducky. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? But I built this rubber ducky rocking chair with a little play thing for kids. And that's when I realized, and I had to build an office space based off of the rubber ducky as well.
Hmm.
And that's when I realized, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And that's how I moved over into fashion design. But
Hmm.
the company that I am starting to kind of pull together, I'm not full blown yet, but it's just something that I do for fun. It's called Innofit Designs Homes.
Hmm.
Um, and it's interior design. Like, I didn't like the school aspect of it, but I'm so passionate about interior decorating, and I really want to just I love walking into a space and just being able to visualize
Hmm.
what the space could be. I'm not a full blown company, but what I do is I help a lot of my friends. I'm just trying to build my portfolio. It's something that I do on the side for fun, but that's also in addition to all of the other things that I do. So it's not fully up and running yet, but my goal for 2022 is to get it there. You know,
Love it.
in small ways, maybe get some pillows started or something, just so that
Hmm.
you can have a little bit of benefit designs in your home.
Love it.
So I did share with you, China, my Instagram handle.
Okay.
And so There's not a whole lot on my Instagram page, but it's enough to get you inspired.
Awesome. I was going to I just ask you, can you tell us a little bit like about your design aesthetic? Tiffany has a beautiful home. I like, I feel like you use very bold colors because one of your rooms is like black, but it still feels very light, which I don't know how you did that, but it feels very soft and airy when you go in there, even though the walls, or maybe they're not black. They're probably charcoal.
No, they're black.
They are black. Okay.
Now, this room, this is my office, my study.
Mm-hmm.
So I have boys and then I have a husband. So I call this is my space. So I can have pink things in here and feminine things.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the walls are black, but my ceiling's white. And my closet's all black. So I'm a very neutral color type of person. But if I'm gonna do a neutral color, I'm gonna do it in a bold way. My design aesthetic is just Tiffany. It's in a fit, like it's modern, but with a twist because it's not modern and it's not minimalist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's I like a little bit of jazziness to it, and I like to play around with textures and patterns and stuff like that. Since you were here last, I've already done some additional things. I can't sit still, but yeah, I'm learning what that taste level is as I go.
But so tell me the name of it one more time. In a fit design?
In a fit design.
What does in a fit mean? What do you mean when you say in a fit?
It's Tiffany spelled backwards.
Love it. Yes.
But I felt like, and one of my girlfriends had done the same, and it was interesting because I was like, my name in a fit, like in a fit will work with clothing because it's fit, in a fit. And then in a fit designs homes. So.
Love it. Awesome. I'm having issues with my link, so I want you to tell me what your Instagram handle is so I can make sure I get it in the chat.
Can I put it in there, or is it?
Well, I don't know. Do you see the chat box on your screen?
Let's see.
Yeah, if you see it, see if it'll let you chat in there.
Okay, let's see. Do you see that?
Let me see. I cannot see it.
Okay, so it's at let me look at it so that I can spell it correctly. Because it's my name. INAFFIT designs _ homes.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll put that in the chat. All right. And I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Lady Georgia and Albert Roberts for getting the chat box and saying hello. As they shout out Cuzzo, great job, and love you from Grandma, Lady Georgia.
I love you too.
And so I think this has been a really great discussion just about the importance of what am I trying to say? Just the importance of what, I guess that's what I want to say. Thank you for your presence, right? I don't think you understand. Maybe you do know that you definitely are opening doors. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's a big deal. One of the things that Tiffany was saying before we got on, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but she was just saying, I'm not a Black history guru and, things of this nature, but this is my way of giving back. And I think that is like so important, right? Everybody has their own way of giving back. And like, there's like no level of Blackness. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, what? Like it, just give back the way that you can. And then like, this is an awesome way to give back. You've given opportunities for young people to create t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Like collections of people are getting together. Like, so you never know, like when you start to roll the ball, when you start to take that chance, when you start to advocate for yourself, like Tiffany was saying, like what is going to happen. And so that's definitely what I'm taking away from this. Advocate for yourself. That's something I need to work on for me too. You know what I'm saying? Advocate for yourself. Ask for what you're worth. Know your worth. How do you know your worth? Tiffany, how you know your worth?
Girl, It's through hard work, like, and dedication. I mean, I know my worth because I've just been around, but I'm just saying,
Shame.
young people, listen to us. We're wise. We've been doing this for a long time, and if I had somebody, I mean, my family's wonderful, but if I had somebody, I grew up amongst a bunch of educators. Like all of the women in my family were teachers, So
Mm,
they never like they dealt with kids all day, they dealt with teenagers, but they never had to deal with a VP of like marketing or some,
mm-hmm.
it's very different. So I've never had
Yes.
anybody to tell me the things that I know, especially it's a generation thing though too.
Mm-hmm.
Where maybe they didn't feel comfortable asking for things. They
Mm.
grew up in the 60s and 50s
Yes.
and 40s and stuff. And
Yes.
so now I just want to scream this to the top of my lungs, like, Black people, when you go in there and negotiate your salaries, just know your worth and know that it's okay for you to ask for that extra coins or ask for education, for them to sponsor your education, or ask for extra time off. Ask for something. Ask for something.
You don't even know how you dropping jewels. Like
Mhm.
I literally didn't even know it was an option to negotiate for salary. I had no idea like that's something that like people did until very, very recently. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand that like when somebody offers you, that's not the end of it. And there's usually some little window there because they kind of expect for you to negotiate
Mhm.
for your worth, right? Could you kind of talk a little bit to us about like what that window looks like? When would you negotiate for salary? You know what I'm saying? Like what can you talk to us about like what that window might look like for a person who might not understand when the time frame is?
I mean, I would do that when they ask you how much money you want,
I
you
say
know?
when they send you the contract, right?
Well, when they ask you, sometimes in an interview, HR may ask you, what do you want to get paid? You give
Ah,
them a number, that number's not final. They send you,
mm,
you get the job. This number is a discussion point. You get the job. They offer you the salary that their first offer. You negotiate that. That's when you start negotiating it.
got you.
It's
Got
nothing for a company to pay you $5,000 to $10,000 more. It just matters who you're working for. Like, I work for a big company, but I'm saying this because this isn't something that I mean, when I went from dealers to JCPenny, I did negotiate my salary. I can't say
you.
that I was proud that I did do that. I mean, like, I did get more money. But
Mm-hmm.
down the line, what happens is, say for instance, you're making $50,000, and then in 2 years you get a raise. Your raises are 3%, 2%. If you ask for an extra $5,000, making your salary $55,000, that 3% raise, 2% raise is going to start to add up, and it's going to build faster than you just accepting that $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just simple things. I had a girlfriend that told me that her company felt like they were losing money from their female salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did was they didn't get rid of them. They put them through training. And they had them read this book, Women Don't Ask.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who the author is, but I did give this to my bonus daughter. Actually, she took it from me. But it's a very kind of old timey book, but it really opens your eyes and it makes it really clear on that scenario that I just gave.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask for more money, and they get it.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, it said, and this was years ago, but it says that men will ask for $5,000 more than women will ask for.
Mm-hmm.
And so some things we do to ourselves,
For
just
sure.
right because we don't know.
For sure.
So
For sure. Okay, I have one more question, and I'm gonna let you go because I said 45 minutes, and
that's all good.
we're gonna cut it off at 45 minutes. But as you know, I teach at local HBCU here, and I was having a discussion with one of my students, and I don't know why you came to mind. I just want to hear your opinion on this. I was having a discussion with one of my students. We have social justice class, and we're talking about the glass ceiling, right? And so he was telling me his mother is in management at Chase Bank, and she's very good at what she does, but they keep promoting all these other people, and so her VP or boss or whoever likes her, and so he just came to her and told her, he was like, look, they we don't need any more diversity. I said, whoa, that's wow. So it's not about my talent or my skill or anything. You don't need diversity.
Mhm.
Like, what does that mean? And
Some
that's why I'm
people
on
need to
this.
pack up and leave. that means that it's time. We have a tendency to stay places way too long. I
For
know
sure.
I've been where I'm at for, it'll be 18 years this year, or 17 years this year. But the one thing that I can say for me is just that my company has been going through a lot of changes. And so for the last, I would say 10 years, I mean, we went through CEO changes, bankruptcy, and things like that. And what happens is they bring in new people. So it's felt like I've worked for several different companies, but I didn't have a problem leaving my first job, because once it gets to the point where they don't respect you and you can't respect them, it's time to go.
I say.
People hold on to stuff, and you know what? You can go and make probably double what you're making. This lady that you're speaking of, if you go and you went somewhere else. Why? Because with these other places may not be reached their diversity quota or whatever it is. I
Right.
see right now, us as Black women, we have the world at our grasp. We need to take control, and we need to do something about it. And I've said this to so many people this year. This is our opportunity. There are
Yes.
so many jobs that have been created for us. There's no reason that we should be sitting and being sad or, in disdain. We should be really, taking advantage of this.
For sure. For sure. Thank you. This has been an amazing discussion. I knew it was going to be an amazing
Oh my
discussion. I
God.
wasn't worried about it at all. But like literally hit on everything that I really wanted to talk about. And I knew that it would be a great discussion. Just talking about like making your own path. And Tiffany didn't talk about that part, but like Tiffany, like to be a designer, like she had to go against the grain. Like everybody didn't want her to be a designer. They want her to have something that was more concrete, more steadfast. But Tiffany made the decision, I'm going to design, right? And she made it work and became successful. And now everybody look at nice. Okay, right. And so like that's dope, right? So, but all kinds of things about just sticking to your goals, but having plans, being consistent is kind of what I heard Tiffany say when she said like don't just say it, follow through, make sure you're not just talking about it. So we got all kinds of jewels. So I'm very excited. Thank you, Tiffany. Is there anything?
Thanks for having me.
For sure. Is there anything that you wanted to say before we get out of here?
Just thanks for having me.
Okay, awesome. For sure. Well, you will definitely be able to catch it on the Educeumm channel on Facebook. You'll also be able to catch us on Cultural Emerging Media. Please, please, please remember to follow Tiffany on Instagram if you want to see her designs, things of that nature. You can also catch the Black History Month collection, some of the pieces online, because a lot of them have sold out. But so some of those pieces, you just got to catch them in the store. But a lot of them sold out online. But if you want to see what it looks like and things of that nature, please, please, please go online and check everything out. It was wonderful having everybody. Thank you again. Tiffany, you don't have to go anywhere. I'm just going to press end so it can end for everybody else. Okay. And so thank you guys, and we will see you next time. Peace.